All right. Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson is the Ring of Fire show. Almost an error. Hey, tonight's subject is my favorite. It's social media, utilizing it with logistics and peak season. We all know, and I'm excited for peak, and I know you're going to be too. No, you're not. Be right back. I still love those videos. Hey, listen, tonight I want to talk about peak season. That's in about 2.5, 3 weeks. That tsunami, that tsunami on the logistics center is just going to go like this. It's right about here right now, but then it's just going to, wow, it's going to swallow up the Lehigh Valley this year. And I've said it time and time again that this peak season here is going to be the most challenging that anybody's ever seen. When all the holiday stuff, I mean, your staff, let me tell you, if you don't have the right staff and ready to go and trained, whew, you're bringing somebody on right now, you better get them ready, because I've seen it in peak seasons. People just resign. You'll start losing recruiters that you just might have hired, because they are going to just, if they've never been through peak season and then this, whew, they got a lot coming. So you better train them right. You better put every effort right now. You better not take your foot off the gas and train that recruiter so well. And I'm going to go over some of the stuff again tonight with social media, that I'm going to pull up some slides that you're going to watch those recruiters. Watch out for them, because they're going to be losing hair like I do. They're going to be screaming, yelling when they come in the office Monday morning. Nobody's going to come in Monday morning. You're going to pray over the weekend. But you know what? So many logistics centers are going to be working 7 days a week from now all the way to Christmas, baby. And I'm just being honest with it, because I've been there. I love peak season. There he is. All right, Kenneth. He's always on. Thanks for sharing your delightful sounding voice. I love it, Kevin. You're awesome. But when peak season starts, just say, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'll have a day off then, because everybody's done with the vacation. Kids are back to school, and stimulus is ending. That has nothing to really do with it, because peak is going to be miserable if you don't know what you're doing. I love it. I love peak. And let's see what Kenneth's saying. The stash and goatee looks cool. I know. It's only, Kenneth, when you start doing the staffing for a little bit these last couple of weeks, I just didn't shave. I didn't feel like it. But peak season, really take care of your staff. In all seriousness, they're going to, even the recruiters that are working from home, that's going to be one of the most challenging you're ever going to see. And I really feel for the recruiters that have no clue what's about ready to hit, and the way things are now. The action plan, if you don't have that action plan written up right now, like what were we supposed to do this week, next week, the week after, what are your plans, what are your contingent plans, when people are going to be leaving, they're going to be they're quitting, walking out the door, they're going to be going from job to job to job. You're going to have not that passive candidate that's been at the company full time, but what's left for peak is going to be the candidates are they're just going to go around and they're just going to try for that bonuses. They're going to try all different things. And the staffing company will let them go, or corporate let them go, but they're just going to be picked up by the next day because it's peak. I don't like the saying body warmers. If you want to say it like that, body warmers, I don't like that much because you're just filling bodies, but you need to get that packages out. I'm telling you, holiday season's going to hit second week of September. Everybody's going to go on Amazon now and all these companies and start ordering now. They're going to start ordering things now because you're not going to get them in November. And it's a fact. You're not going to get it. You'll get it from Amazon, but maybe elsewhere. It's just going to be a backlog that you've never seen because stuff isn't even coming in yet. So it's going to be a while. So look at your staff. Really concentrate now, these next 2 to 3 weeks, on your staff. Are they prepared for what's about ready to happen, that tsunami? Are they prepared for working longer hours? And also look at the candidates also. They're going to be working 6-7 days a week, and it's going to. Alexander says, food chain and supply chains are worsening. Global issues ignored. The value of the dollar drastically impacted, just to mention a few major issues. Bob, you're so right there. And like you said, the food chain also, we've all seen it. You go into some of the stores right now, it's just dropping. There's stuff sometimes in the store that's just not there anymore. For God's sake, I shouldn't say that, but I went to get some cat things for my cat. It's a nice looking cat. It's black, a little bit white. There was nothing at Walmart. There was just little cans of food. That was it. There was nothing. So the shelves are empty. And then Kenneth says, Alexander, Bob, of course, absolutely, I concur with you on this one. It's going to get tight so much to where, like I said, the weekends, you really need to think of your candidates right now. Think of your employees on how you're going to get through these next 9 weeks. 9 weeks of pure hell, 9 weeks. Again, you want to be successful. There's a couple things. I've talked about it numerous times. Text us. Number one, you're not utilizing a text us platform, you're crazy. You are not going to, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle hard. Constant contact, your email campaigns, but not only just an email blast, but they're constant contact. I'm going to give them a shout out. It's a good company because you can really mess around with it with flyers, and you can do so many things on constant contact with the text us, with your job boards, because your job boards are going to play a big part in this. Utilizing your job board and naturally the social media. You need to get your message out before everybody else does. You either spam the hell out of them, you send emails every friggin' day in the morning, and you nail them again the next day, and you send it out next week. 1,000 of them here, 1,000 of them there. Listen, if you get 15 to 20 of them, candidates to work, it was a success. You get a few people that say, stop emailing me, then I just say, hey, stop putting your resume on Indeed or a Career Builder or a Job Seeker. What do you call it out? Jesus. Now you got me like ZipRecruiter and all that. You have to know when you put your resume on Indeed or the job boards, they have you for life. You will never get away from them. You'll change your email, some people, but the cell phones, out of the 50-50 chance, you're still going to have them. And then with social media, you're really, really going to freaking have them. You're going to have them for life. A lot of people don't know that everybody has an email address on Facebook. Yeah. You run a few reports, you run a few things, and everybody that belongs to a group, right? If you belong to like a professional group, you run that behind the scenes, and you have everybody's email. Because everybody on Facebook, right? It's FB. Go figure. FB, and then it's a code with a number, and that's their email. Because you got to create, even when you put a fake one, you can get away with that sometimes with the fake people, how they put fake, but you're still going to get them. You're still going to get them, and there is no way around it. No way. Hey, Daryl, how's it going out in Texas? Or I'm not sure that's where you still are today, but Daryl's a great connection too. He does a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. I've been following a lot of your posts, Daryl, and you really tell it like it is. So if anybody wants to connect with Daryl, he's a great colleague. And questions, anybody on here that comes on the show is really great to reach out to on ideas. because if it wasn't for these, everybody that comes on the show, I wouldn't be as successful either, because they follow the show, and I really appreciate that and say it. So, Bob, oh, you're in Texas. All right. But they need a lot of help down there in Texas for staffing, Bob. I mean, Daryl. Listen, tonight I wanted to show you a couple things, right? And if you've never seen these things, that's okay. That just happens to be the way it is. Back searching for the next opportunity. I figured that you're going to be all over LinkedIn and all over social media trying to find that next one. But you'll get it. I know you will. These here, this one here is a new function. Let me see. This one's called, okay, the bulk came up first. So social media, you never stop learning. Every time you turn around, it's something new, right? And the only way I learn a lot about it is I just mess around with it so much. And I found 3 different functions now that I'm like, you got to be kidding, and I can see how it's going to work. So this first one on social media it's a bulk countries, bulk regions, states, DMAs, designated market areas, right? I'm still learning all what this one is. The cities and addresses. Addresses. If you heard me, addresses. Don't ask me how yet, but I'm trying to figure out. And that's right here. This is it right here, right? It's hard to see, but this function behind when you're building your jobs, right? This, if you've never seen stuff like this, you're not doing social media right. Because I told everybody before, you're actually, think of it this way. I'm going to compare it to like a dating site. I can say that. It's just a dating site. You, as a person, are building that person who you want to date, marry, right? It's he and she. You're building that person. So build those qualities of interest of what you want. You want somebody that plays golf. You want somebody that reads at Borders. You want somebody that lives in the top zip code area. You can do the zip codes. I don't recommend it because you can go to the top 5, 10% zip codes in your area. I think you have to have the correct job to do that, because I've been stunned. Sometimes I've done that and I haven't been successful, but there again, you got to work at it and you got to mess around. But addresses here, I mean, it doesn't lie. Addresses, countries, so bulk. So what that means, I'm believing, is I can do a bulk addresses in certain areas and cities and countries and regions and states. So that means I'm going to be able to click on, let's say if I want to go to Texas, right? And you couldn't do this before. When you would click on Texas jobs that you want to find somebody from Pennsylvania, I can do that. We can find jobs from here to Texas to California. Within 2 to 3 hours, they're going to start receiving our message or somebody's message on social media. If you're hiring, you just do it from right here. It doesn't matter. You can be in your office, any state. So what that's going to do is, I think, is going to really just, you're going to be able to check on 2 or 3 states, and it's going to hit them in a certain area. So instead of going, you're going to hit PA, Texas, California, Nevada, you can do that in a bulk, and it's going to go out to a certain group of people that you're targeting. I'm hoping that means that it comes back to you. And that's a little bit hard to understand, but on that one there, listen, that is what I mean with social media, that if you want to succeed, there's so much that I talk about for peak season, that if you are not prepared with the social media and utilizing it correctly, because I'm going to show you a couple other things. And the show tonight is, if other people, recruiters, are watching this tomorrow, or want to learn a couple things, you really need to focus. It's great to do all your job boards. You can belong to 5, 10, 15, doesn't matter. Share them. Perfect, right? You're going to get them over. You'll get some response out of it, but you don't get many reach with it. You don't get the reach that I wish people would utilize. And some that do social media will agree to this. When you post your ads, that's great. Do all you want. Be happy. But when you're taking these things, these tools here, right, on Ads Manager, and you're literally building your date site, if you want to call it, right, the person that you want, it's the same way here. You want to go after demographics. You want to go after languages, right? You can put all list of languages. You're just targeting your audience. It's just like sales and stores. They're targeting all these ads coming on your emails and anything like that. They listen to you, like Alexa listens to me all the time here. And they do, because it'll probably come up about, I'll get an email about this. But everything's listening to you. And you gotta really dig down deep and talk to your management and say, listen, we need something different. Because when you're running these ads that I'm going to talk about, they can like them all they want. I don't want certain people to like it. Why would I want my wife to like it? She can like it on the job boards. But if I'm paying for it, your friends, you're going after the wrong audience. You're going to pay per click. And social media is expensive now. It's a lot different than it was years ago. But if you know what you're doing, you can minimize the cost. But by just clicking boost, when you post your ad and you just go boost, and some marketing departments just do that, they'll hammer down $500 down on there, and it'll go just like that, because you're going out to the wrong audiences. You're going over to people that have no idea. They don't care about the logistics centers. They don't care about being a forklift driver, right? They don't care about working, picking, packing, logistics, supply chain management. I mean, it goes on and on. Electric pallet jack operators in this field. So this is what I'm saying. You're going to target what you want. So what do you want, right? So when I look at this, it's like, what do you want in the ad? So I'm going to go to the demographics. Again, the demographics here, if you've never seen something like this, and I've shown before, you'll see the circles where I'm targeting my audience definition, what city. I'm going 15 miles outside of Easton here. You can't do like the age or anything like that anymore. And I figured that would change through the years, and target, and it's only right, because discrimination, I knew that was coming, and that was about 2 or 3 years ago. It stopped. I don't even know how they did it from there. Even gender, you really can't. The only thing is you can target, like if you have ads on this next one here, this is something cool. So this is called, let me get it here. Let's see, this one is, okay, right here. So what this does is, it's pretty cool. So now you can do storytelling, which is in here, right? A lot of people like stories, so that's pretty cool. You can do sell your products, customer acquisition. So encourage new customers to discover your brand and products. So think about that. You can send them what they're looking for, and it's called customer acquisition. It's insane. Let's see. So how will TAS and MASS affect this trend as supply chain becomes more automated, like Amazon and Walmart? Whew. Wow. I think that's going to be a while, Daryl. That's going to take a while. I think that's going to, I'm trying to figure out how to answer that question. It's going to affect the trend, but I don't think we're going to get so automated within, it's going to take some years here, because they're just trying out, like Walmarts and all those places, Amazon. They are replacing robotic people. You see in logistics centers, it's raising up. They're using, oh my God, you look on Google, logistics of the future, right? And you'll be like blown away how they're trying to figure out, how do you do this without people? Hey, it's gonna happen. And thanks for bringing that up, but I don't know how it's going to affect the supply chain. I really don't. I don't even want to question that, because I don't know. So, but the next one is, I like this one here. Social media, Carols, we did that one right here. So Facebook gives you the option of automatic placements or manual. So what that means is automatic, let social media do it, let Facebook do it, automatic placements. And Facebook, social media will actually choose the event you want to optimize for your ad set. Your selection affects who sees your ads. All right. So, for example, if you choose to optimize for your link clicks, we'll show your ad to the most people likely to click on your link. It's just like Google. Google's too expensive. I'm going to pay to play, man. But look at that. they're going to show you, they're going to target you when we do ads, where it's going to go to. Think about that. It's right there. And a lot of people say, well, I've left it in manual mode and I didn't get much traction. I'm like, what the hell? 3, 4, I get nervous. After like 72 hours, if I don't start getting responses on job boards, I'm like 72 hours, I'm getting friggin' nervous. I'm like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. That I go back and I didn't click it on automatic. And by that, let social media do the work for you. You don't have to do it. Let them. Everybody says, oh, no. If they design this automatic placements and recommend it, think about that. Recommend it, do it. Don't fight it. I say don't fight it. It's just not worth it. So the next thing that I have is, let's say the trends. So every week I look at trends on the reports and I can see different things. I can really learn a lot about the insights of how your site's doing. Like, are you getting it to the right people? It even breaks it down to age brackets. So you can, when you look at your insights every day, it's going to be like 18 to 21, 24, I don't know, 21 to 26, and then it goes into 30s to 40 something, then 50s to 60s and 65 above. And you'll actually see while you're running your ad, 80% of them are women that looking at my ad, 20% men. What the hell? So that's where you might be like, okay, what's going on there? Why are more women looking at my ad than men? They're the kind of things that you really, it takes a while. When you develop an ad, it can sometimes take you like 2 hours if you really want to get one ad and concentrate, take everybody away from me and just focus on what you're looking for. Google every little thing on these pages, because listen, I mean, a lot of this stuff that people don't even know. If your page isn't set up correctly, you're screwed. If you've never seen this right here, a lot of you people don't even know that your business page, right? Your business here, I told people, has to be verified. So if you don't put your tax ID or even your social security, because that could be for 1099, if you're not putting it on right here, wrong one, right here, your ad's not going anywhere. When you go to boost that, you're not getting the full results that you should deserve. A lot of people start these crazy Facebook pages. They're not legitimate. That's what causes a lot of these problems, because it's not legitimate. It's a business of somebody, I don't know, you see some of these things selling jewelry and they have music playing, and they don't get out that much. They don't get far. They try to get, if you really want to get, I'm going to tell a secret here. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to give you one. If you really want to get creative on an ad, right? Run your ad and run it overseas. Run it over like China and all the different countries. Just run it. In Australia, it doesn't matter. Just, hey, mate, right? Put an ad just about your company. Hey. And then you start seeing the feed. Just, what the heck is this? All different languages. Everybody's going down and you don't even know what they're saying. So then what that does is increases your views for when you do your next ads like that. You'll see it. And people have done that just to get, like, it doesn't matter. If nobody understands you, you're utilizing it in another way. You're utilizing it to get yourself seen more. Your message, you need to get set out from social media to you. And if you don't do these things, right? Now, I don't recommend corporations doing that. I wouldn't do that. I was just messing around with some of the things, but it did work. But that's maybe if you're a small company, you don't have to worry about getting sued or anything like that, but it works. But some of these things I'm talking about is like insights. I told you, here's something that I run all the time on the Ring of Fire show. Here it is, 151 posts, fans, engagements, look, 31 clicks, and it shows all, like, I'm sure these were holidays. I have to look back, but you want to be able to look back at your arrows that are going up and down. Like, what did you do on here to make that person spike? All these little spikes. You see how that drops down? That drops down because it's not engaging. Nobody's looking at it. It doesn't lie. Look, see? Nobody even looks at them. So I need to keep my graph going up, up, up. All that stuff everybody has those little hashtags, smiles, love, all this irrelevant stuff on an ad. And then you put an image of themselves. They didn't make that. Majority of them just get it off a social media calendar. You can pay, I think it was like $179. And all I got to do is fill in the gaps. But it works on social media. LinkedIn, not as much, but social media did. Because I had an intern, she would really get creative. And let me tell you, it worked. I couldn't fill it all out. It's not me. But if you're targeting that audience, all that little stuff, love and all those little things, go for it. I never tell anybody not to try anything because I don't know. I don't know it all. Because like I tell everybody, red and green are your number one colors that people. Red draws the first thing. Red, you do an ad, put some red on that, and the eyes go right to it. And green, maybe because of money, I don't know. But when I try to do a lot of ads with that color because it just draws yourself. If you're scrolling down, you see red, what do? You stop. That's why. So some of these other things here is your budget, right? I tell people, here's a budget. You can put a daily budget. And you can put for a whole month, you can run $5 a day, 20. You can run, listen, some of the logistic companies, oh man, I'll tell you what, if you gave someone $1,000 to know what they could do with it, right? On social media to get candidates, one ad, I don't care what anybody says, one ad for $1,000, you put it on and you put it on when you know what you're doing. Those messages are going to come in. Those applications are going to come in. And I don't care what anybody says. They can prove, they're not going to prove me wrong that $1,000, if you're going to put $200 down a day, a budget, and you go after what you're going after, like there's a lot of different things. Like I tried it today. I wanted to go for reach. All right. I wanted to reach as many people as I could. Right. And I put $10 down just out of curiosity. I tried it. It's a basic ad. You just want that ad to get out to as many people as you can get. And it doesn't matter. It could be about food, right? Because everybody eats it. So think of it that way. You know, you can design it. I'll tell you what, that $10 went so fast, right? I was like, whoa, just like that. It was so fast. And I was like, damn. But if you want to get your message out, right? Oh, I would use that there, but I would still target. No, I still targeted those ads. I targeted those people that still, with that $10, I put a bunch of interest, but it just went crazy. So I was like, what would somebody use that for? I mean, if I wanted to get a message out that I was having a job fair, and I watch these job fairs and I get it. I mean, when you work, you see things that you would really like to do that works. Does that make sense? So when you see something that doesn't work, I talked about it the other night, you need to adjust and you want to try something different. That's the way to go. Because now pre-COVID, it really worked well. And it still does now, but minus like 40%. Minus that 40% because it's a mess out there. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to find you 30 people in one day. You'll find 30 messages. You'll find 50 messages. You'll find 75. You need 75 or 100 to get like 30 people in logistics. That's just a fact. And it's getting tight now. And then peak, I am anticipating that's going to take you, say you have 100, you want 100 people. It's going to take you about 300 messages, applications, to try to get even close to that. And then by the time when people leave, right, that's the things that I'm going to end it here. I could have went on and on, but seriously, when you want to get your message out, right, that candidate has options like you've never seen before in peak. You cannot take your foot off that pedal 24 hours a day. I told you, spam them, text them again the next day. They reply, stop. So what? Move on to the next one. Thousands of numbers, emails. That's what the competition is doing for you. They're getting their message out because listen, when somebody's pissed off at work, right? Yeah, everybody's been there. You're mad, you're irritated, you had to work 2-3 weekends in a row, the holiday season's coming, everybody's freaking calling you, you're getting stuck, you miss your family. It goes on and on and on. But it only takes that one ad, one time that you've sent to that person 3 or 4 times and they didn't pay attention. One time, that's when they'll apply. Makes sense, right? They're not happy, they're in a pissed off mood. Everybody's been there. Oh, I don't like my job. I don't like this. I don't want to why I'm here. I'm going to try to find another job. They're on their lunch break and bam, right there. Just like when you go to all those job boards, Indeed, everybody else, you got them for life. They're there. You pay a lot of money for that, but you got to utilize it. You got to do it right. So think about that. Get your message out. Peak season's coming. That tsunami is going to hit in about 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to be losing staff. Recruiters are going to leave. People will get let go in management. You have to be so ready and have all those tools lined up. Text us, constant contact, social media, your job boards, video resume screening, different tools. If you don't utilize all of these tools, I'm going to end it on this. You are going to struggle very, very hard. If you want to succeed during peak season, I wouldn't say this if I didn't have a passion and believe in what social media can do. With all these other items, right? Softwares, you're going to win. You're going to be, listen, you're not going to be at 100%, 90%. You're going to be about a 60% retention. 60% holding people, 60% versus some companies are going to have like 20, 30%. They're going to be the ones that are struggling. You're just going to have a little bit easier time this peak season because you got that little bump. So on that note, I know it's a different kind of show tonight for people to comment and everything like that, but some recruiters, listen, reach out, PM. I always answer messages. If you have any questions, I can help out. I just like to share what I know to other recruiters and really to help people, really to show them, here I go again, to take one tool, one item, just say like Texas, right? One item can help you out maybe 3 to 4 different other ways. And I say it like this, here I go, but like House, when you watch that, maybe you didn't see that show all the time, but he would bounce a tennis ball off a wall and sit down. So if you text us, you're hitting that ball against the wall. You're hitting, that idea is going to come to you, how to utilize that in a different way. And it works. It's going to come to you just like that. You're going to be like, oh, damn, I didn't think about that. Just like that. And with those 4 softwares, it's kind of like having, I'm going to say like 10 to 12 different ways that you can get that for peak, and you can see my smile. But on that night, I got to go. It's been a long night and day. So I will be back on most likely Sunday, and I will see you as soon as I click this then.